But in a bad market, people still have to move. Yeah, right? People still get job transfers. People still end up getting, wanting to get out of where they're at. They still have babies. They still get married, right? All that still happens that causes life changes. So we just want to make sure that with that, we're creating a way to stay in touch with them. So if you look at it and say, all right, 36 deals, I want 40% of it. Can we do the math real quick? 36 times 24 should be 7.2, 14, 15 deals. 14.8.
14.4.
Is it?
Yes. So 36.
3.6, 3.6, 7.2, 14.4.
You're smart. He's just a calculator.
That might be a calculator. Okay. All right, so we're around that 15 deals in the database, right? Is that fair?
Yeah.
All right, so the MREA was written in 1980 something, 85 maybe. You might know what the MREA tells us we should be getting from our database as far as a return. 12 to 2 is the number in MREA, right? Y'all heard that before?
Yeah.
So for METS, it says for every 12 people in your database, you should get 2 pieces of business out of it that year. Okay? It's a weird number, right? If you're a math geek, you would go, why not 6 to 1? Right? And that's because of every 12 people, 1 will move and 1 will refer somebody. Okay? So they just write it as 12 to 2, so you can kind of keep that in mind. Now I'm going to argue in 2018 that number is different. Right?
What do you think it is then now?
The best that, okay, so we kind of said worst case numbers, right? Like let's really think about worst case, what could it be? And for us, well, we basically decided in order just to be over the top with it, 20 to 1. What happens if we're wrong? We just get more business, right? So I kind of look at it and go, 1985, technology was different, the world was different. I knew 12 people, they were in my database, and I was mailing them and shaking their hand and kissing babies and doing all that. And consistently, 12 to 2 made it. And I'm not going to argue that this number is exactly right. I just think for us, we're just kind of looking at a worst case scenario. Right? All right. I'm going to multiply 15 times 20. 350? You know? Is it? My math's not working very well today.
300.
300? Okay. Does that make sense? Follow the logic there? How many of you have 300 METs that we just defined as people that know you, like you, and want to do business with you in your database right now? How many do you have?
About 285. That's consistent.
Okay.
I got like 65.
Okay.
Phil told me to get rid of a bunch of people that wasn't paying attention.
So here's one of the best things you can do. If you have a database currently, go back and inspect it. Right? Are they written? How many of those 285, Adrian, are you mailing consistently, calling consistently, and doing an active A-value of 36 touch on?
Honestly, none. And that's bad, but it's not true.
Oh, that's why we're having this class, right? Okay, so here's the idea, right? Build it to this as quickly as possible. Okay? Class over. Okay, so that's where we get into let me show y'all something here. Since we have a smaller class, we can go a little slower and have some conversations, right?
Yeah.
Good. Alright, so I stole this from some other KW agents at one point. This is our recruiting packet, and the idea is that this is your business, right? This is where everything needs to come around to, okay? So this is how the Huffaker Group's chosen to do it. Don't pay attention to the details of it, right? The idea, though, is that your business is powered by your database, which means that everything else you're doing is designed to support that database, right? So why do you do open houses?
To add people to the
To
database.
meet people, add people in the database, right? Why do you go door knocking? Add people in the database. Why do you call for cell numbers and expires, just listeds and just solds? To add people to the database, right? Now, that's a little bit of a mind shift because it's twofold, right? We talked about, if you've been in our class before, the 3S, right? We're talking about now business and we're talking about future business. The future business, right? The people that you're adding back to your database. So for me, when we're prospecting, yeah, I want to know who's moving now, but I really want to know, can I be that person that you trust when you think of real estate? Because then it just feeds back up to the database, right? When we're doing launches, when we're calling just listed, just sold, when we're doing open houses, when we're doing door knocking, when we're doing events or whatever, is to meet these people, bring them back up in the database, right? That's where the 3S comes into play, right? The third question, who do you think of when you think of real estate? Can I have the right to earn that responsibility? Becomes that's just a fancy way of saying, can I put you in my database? Right? Can I have your permission to put you in my database? Right? And that's where Bowl tries to get you doing the white pages exercise or getting you to talk to people at the grocery store, right? Make those 20 contacts a day because in those 20 contacts, a handful of them should say, yes, here's my contact information, right? And so over time, we're trying to build it to 300, right? This is your goal. Now, what if you wanted all your business to come from your database?
Increasing number in there.
Well, that'd be 660 roughly. Something like that. Sound all right? So I'll be honest, here's what's happened over the years as we built a company, is that we've been doing all of this stuff, right? This whole part of the pie, and we built it large enough to get where we wanted to with the database. But then we said, well, we're still in business. So let's do this and do this. And then over time, it's like, well, now this is really grown, right? And then that's how it seems crazy, but you go from 36 to 72 to 145 to 200 units, right? And you see these teams that just kind of keep growing and growing and growing and growing, and it's almost like because you use this downhill motion, right? Once you get the snowball running, it all starts feeding itself as long as you have a system in place, right, to be able to service it, right? Excuse me. All right. So first things first. What are you going to do right now in order to go get 300 people in your database? I would say, tell me the cell you say, if you have 50 people in your database right now, get to 200 by the end of the month, right? Or get to, if you've got 240 people in your database, get to 480 within within the quarter, right? If you've got 500 people in your database, get to 1,000 within, by the end of the year, right? Because here's what you got to remember, okay? Database is the long-term play, right? Which is why we need short-term business. This is not going to pay you tomorrow. Sometimes it will, but for the most part, you're looking for something that, if you'll work hard, if you'll remember, I was only in production for like 18 months, something like that, 2 years maybe, right? But it was all this residual that came later, right, that really helped propel our business to where we're going, right? So you kind of have to put this in play. You got to go out. That's why if you've been in the business for 5 years and you're still working the phones and you're still door knocking and you're still having to go out on 8 open houses a weekend, we just don't want to keep doing that every year, right? Like at some point we want to be able to either stop doing it or leverage it to build a team.
When you first got started, man, what was your biggest thing you did to add people to your database?
Mine was open houses.
All of them?
For the most part. I didn't really know much about dialing. Like I said, Craigslist was big back then. We could get a lot, but Craigslist ended up junking out. That's what you have to be careful of, right? As you're starting to add people to it, you want to add quality people. right? You want to have people that you've had conversations with, that are agreed to be communicated with from you, because it really does come back to the quality of your database. So we can go out and, you could buy 1,000 names, however, that's not really going to get it because you haven't built that relationship or you haven't asked the permission, right? So that's why we want that permission. Now, I do think we did not used to change the name from open houses to launches. We didn't do it at this level when I first started out, but you also had a lot more open houses where people were unrepresented, right? In this market, a lot of people are represented right now because they know they need an agent in order to really win in this environment. So again, it comes back to kind of where you're at in the market, right? Where are people at that we can have conversations with? What happens if 6 months from now, they say, you can't cold call anymore, right? You can't circle prospect, right? What happens if the rules change? I mean, literally overnight, they changed the rules on Craigslist, we couldn't do it anymore, right? So you have to always be kind of looking at the market and how do you get there. The best thing you can do is hurry up and get there. Because then once you've got it, you've got it. Right? And then you're meeting people naturally and it's kind of growing. But if you want the minimum, right? If you want to say like the minimum I want to close next year is, at least 15 deals. Now we all know there's going to be byproducts off of these in other forms of your business. If you said I want the minimum to be 24, we'll just do the math and get there. But keep in mind, you're going to need about another, in my opinion, 6 to 8 months of good systematic follow-up with them in order for it to really start paying you, right? Make sense? Okay.
Can I ask you a question on Boomtown?
Yes.
What is that, or would that be worth it for somebody like, any of us in here as a single agent to do? Money-wise and that.
I believe I would say, let's see what comes out at Mega Camp next week regarding KW Command. KW Command will put all of those out of business for us, not for other agents, and Remax members still going to need them. But for us, it's going to be for us for free. Command blows Boomtown out of the water, right? It makes a lot of stuff look like a joke. I mean, it's smart, right? It's good. So that really is to me the best value proposition at KW. From what I've seen of all the stuff they're working on, yeah, let me make sure I spell it right. KW Command really is a CRM that Gary's going to provide to all of us for free, so that we no longer have to go out here and pay all this money to all these companies, right? He talks about bolt-on technology, or having to go out and buy all these people. And guess who owns all those people in Boomtown? When I text somebody from Boomtown, guess who owns that number? Boomtown does, right? And so Gary's trying to find a way to give us that control back, right? So we're not at their mercy if they decide they want to take all that and make it their own database, right? What happens if Zillow buys Boomtown, right? Or Redfin buys Boomtown, or Compass buys Boomtown, right? And says, oh, these are all our people now. You can't communicate with them. See what I'm saying? So Gary's just trying to protect us in that regard. The biggest thing, though, what you want to do is you need to know your gap, right? Your gap. You have a math code, that's what you're going to work on all the time, right? How many people, how much business do we need? How many people do we need? How are we doing? How many do we add in each week? Right? Sounds like bold, right? How many people we add in each week till we get there? Okay? Now, you do need somewhere to house them. So you can put them on an Excel spreadsheet, you can put them in EDge, you can put them in whatever you're currently using that works, as long as you have it. You may have to tweak the system in order to communicate with them effectively. But what you need to really do is structure your lead generation for the week around 2 hours of lead generation to add people to the database and 1 hour of lead follow-up to nurture your database, right? Any of you in here ever taken never-ending referrals? What's that?
I'm taking it now.
Yeah, it's a great class. I think I'm taking it like 3 times. It's never-ending referrals is all about your database. Right? Some great creative ways in order to communicate with it, work with it, build it.
Where did you take that?
It's a master group coaching, so it's a webinar. It's like $295 for a 3-month course. Right? So it's not bad. But in there they have the 4 rules of the database. Chris, do you remember them?
Feed it. Nurture. Nurture one.
Oh, it's
Serve.
no, it's the service all business that comes from it. Feed it, grow it, something like that, nurture it. In a nutshell, this is essentially what it is, right? So you have to go out and find people to put in it, right? You have to nurture it, right? All right, so let's talk about that a little bit. I will say, do you have your number written down, what your gap is? Okay, I'm gonna walk away with it because something actionable. Make sure you know what that number is, right? Put it up on your wall, right in your office. I'm at 180 of 250, or whatever it is, 285 or 300. You don't need 15 more people. You get that from the car wash. Go ahead. Go out there for a day. I love it. So, what are your 4 legs of the business, right? So, get off track here for a minute. You got database, right? Tim Heil did some research. I think at one point everybody back then was talking, and everybody had like 15 to 20 different lead sources, right? If you really go through and say, what are all our lead sources and things like that. And what we found was 80% of them came from your top 4. Right? So I remember Tim saying like he cut everything out and he just doubled down on the top 4. He said, rather than spending money here and here and here and here and here, I'm just gonna take all my money, double down on my top 4. Sounds like the 80-20 principle, right? We're just gonna focus on our top 20%. So where else are you gonna get business from? Where do you get business from right now?
The like groups that I join, Rotary, stuff like Wilson County, I'm getting business from those things, by getting out in the community and actually getting to know people.
All right, community events. Someone said open houses, right?
Yep. And I've got open house business like a year after I meet people at open house.
That's what you want, right? It really is the value.
My last 4 closings were open houses.
What's that?
My last 4 closings were from open houses.
Yeah. To me, open houses is the fastest way of business. For some reason, we almost work weekends. All right, where else do you get business from? Where could you get business from?
I mean, my body needs, I guess that
Right.
probably should be one of the big 4, but.
It is for every successful team.
I
mean, It just is.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just out there.
I mean, closing 2 deals from it, it's more than paid for what I spent.
If nothing else, you're gonna make some money, right? It's not the best return on investment. It's not the most ideal place to build a business around, but you can do it and make a little bit, right? Now, if you're not effective at it, you'll lose your shirt. So you again, like the rest of them, you have to have a plan in place, right? But again, if you're running a business, and this is 40 to 45%, right? And that means you pretty much got like 25, 20, and 15% of your business. So could you sit down and determine how you were going to run your business in 2019? Could you create a plan that says, here's the one? So for us, right? I don't know, ELPs, social media, some of that stuff. That's not our core business, right? So I'm not going to put social media, I don't create a plan around it, right? It's part of our business and what comes from it will serve us, but it's not something that we're actively pursuing, right? That makes sense? Okay. So you want to sit down with your business plan, and we'll do a business planning clinic here in October, but really to outline, so if you can get a head start now, because guys, this takes time to pay off, really start to outline where do I want my business to come from, and then just create a plan of how I'm going to get that business from that source, and then just put it on your calendar to say, here's what I've got to do each week in order to nurture that plan. Like, I've created this plan, it's my baby, now it's my seed, now I want to go out and watch it grow, so I have to water it each week. So I'm going to put that on my calendar. Man, it's amazing what happens. Because then you're not worried about chasing everything else, right? You're not worried about anything else. You're not worried about the new realty company that just came down the street or the new shiny internet place that you can go buy leads, because you've got a plan. Man, there's so much peace in that. So you're not chasing everything all over the place, right? Challenge is,
Is the new, I'm sorry, is the new KW command going to be rolled out at May Hampton next week?
I don't think so. I don't know when it will be out in a form that they will allow everybody to mess with. that information. So let's build a plan around it, right? If you don't leave here and do something though, guys, how many times I've taught this class or taught about this right here, right? And I mean, again, you kind of go like, all right, who's actually executing it, right? Who's doing it? Who's out there actually making it happen, right? That's where you're gonna kind of hit that gas, right? All right, so let's talk about how we're gonna communicate with it. Let's go back over to the rules of engagement here. All right. First thing you gotta do is go find a place to bring them in. Make sense?
Yep.
And once you get them in, what does an 8x8 look like? You know the purpose of an 8x8?
8 touches in 8 weeks.
8 touches in 8 weeks, right? Okay, and we're still talking in Mets, right? Still working on that. So like what you said, going to community events, building allied resources, those people that can send you a lot of business, it's still all the same, right? Once I meet someone and they say, yes, you can communicate with me, here's my name, my phone number, my email address, my home address, right? Once I have all of that, now I have to deliver on what I say, right? And this is where a lot of people fail, right? I'm gonna go out and do open houses, I'm gonna get names, I'm gonna get numbers, I'm gonna follow up with those people, and then Monday comes around, oh, I got busy, I didn't get a chance to call them, right? Oh, Tuesday's here, oh, it's Wednesday, I should have called them, right? They just get away from me, right? And that's what we don't want, right? We want a system that will actually do it for us, okay? So the 8x8, tell me brands of tennis shoes. How many can you name?
Nike, Adidas, Puma, you know, just can't remember the thing now.
Okay. Potato chips, how many brands can you think of?
Doritos, Purples. I don't know, not that.
Okay.
It's funny, it's usually around 30. I know.
Yeah. Most people seem to be able to come up with 3. We would argue, I guess, whoever the powers are that be, is that people can really hold 2 spots, right? For you know, rapid memory, right? When you're just trying to go off the cuff to think of shoes or potato chips, or so if I say realtor, who do you think of? Who comes to mind?
Frank Butler. I think of me.
Alright.
I think of me first.
Yeah. But what we want to know is when the public thinks of a realtor, who do
Yeah.
they think of? Right.
David Baker.
So what we're really doing with the 8x8 is gaining mind share. Okay? We want one of those 2 spots. Why do open houses work? Because those people are actually looking for a house, right? And then we meet them, and we're friendly and we're nice, and we say, hey, can I go show you houses later this evening or this week? And they say yes. So we're catching people that want realtors in their mind share at the moment. But what if you could get into everybody's mind, right? What if you could become that name synonymous with realtor for the people that you know, right? That's what you want. You want people that aren't looking for a house to think of you when they think of real estate. Make sense?
Yeah.
Because people that are looking for a house are a little bit, I don't know, they're selfish in that one because they want to buy a house.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? All right, so let's build an 8x8. All right, I'm going to give you my opinion on the best way to run it. I got this from Chad Himes years ago. I've tweaked it to meet our needs. You can make it however you want, right? Number 1, handwritten business card.
I did 8 of those this week.
Good.
First 8 I ever written.
Good for you, man. Put your business cards in there.
Business cards, just like people that I spoke to, or, you know, mostly past clients that I just kind of not talked to at all.
You know how many realtors never follow up? Like the number's astonishing. Huge percent never follow up even a second time. Right? Y'all seen that infographic from Harvard Business Study? did I or could I?
I said, did you?
Probably. It's been around quite a bit. See if I can pull it up more. Alright, so I know you can't see the exact details of it, right? Okay, so this right here says over 30 leads are never contacted at all. Right? Go back. Best days to make contact, they've got on Wednesdays and Thursdays. The response time, 400% decrease in odds of qualifying somebody if you call them after 5 minutes.
Wait, repeat that?
400% decrease in the odds of contacting somebody if you call and wait 5 minutes. So that's where a lot of people fell with internet leads. If you're buying leads and you don't have an ISA or an ISA service to contact them within 5 minutes, it's just tough as a single agent. I'll be honest, by the time it hits your phone, it's usually been 3. We've kind of researched, like, from the time they hit the button to the time you actually get the text notification that they are on your site, you literally, it's almost like that. You gotta pick your phone and dial it, right? It's just tough, right? We're eating dinner with a kid, with a family, right? Things are going on. That's where that can be a struggle. But if you look at the persistence, over 30% of leads are never contacted. If you make more than 6 contacts, you'll contact them 92% of the time. 92% is a pretty good contact rate, right? If you're spending time there. Now, how's that relevant to the anybody? Okay? So the handwritten thank you card, this is going to be about persistence theory, right? So the handwritten thank you card, you can go pick up generic thank you cards from Walgreens, put your business card in there, right? Once you get comfortable and know that you're going to continue to do it consistently, I recommend having some custom ones made with your logo on them, right? Things like that. Chad Hines always said put 2 cards in there so it takes them twice as long to throw them away. And what happens when they open up the card, the 2 business cards fall out? He always said it takes them longer to pick up 2 and throw them away than to pick up 1 and throw it away. Right? I thought that was a funny joke. Alright. Alright. Then I believe in sending them a text. Alright, so these are weeks, by the way. Now, it used to be you're basically going to send them 4 items of value and then contact them 4 times, right, to get to your rate. Now, if you call all 4 times, by that 8th week, to me, that call feels uncomfortable. It is me again. Kind of weird, I keep calling you, I get it. So we switched it to text, call, text, call. And look, it's the little thing, right? For a while, we started with a call, because we thought, hey, they don't want to hear from us. So we would call, text, text. And then I was like, I don't know how to, like, ending on a text. Right? So you just kind of have to tweak it and see what works best for you. What's the text going to say?
Follow up, see if they receive the card.
Hey, just reaching out, make sure you got a thank you card, send over, make sure I got your address right, things like that. Right? Do you know anybody that else should be helping in real estate? I always suggest having a short and simple kind of tagline that asks for business. That's very, non-pushy, right? But if you were to end every conversation you knew with someone with, hey, by the way, who do you know that I should be talking to about real estate? Pretty easy, right? Not as you
struggle with that.
Yeah.
I don't now, but I did originally.
Yeah. Yeah, because you feel like you're being that guy, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. People expect us to be that guy. Right? Just you go ahead and be like, that's okay. Right? In fact, if you're a good realtor, you're good at your job, it doesn't feel yucky, and they actually want you to ask. Like they're happy to help. And they kind of expect, like you're a professional, you should be asking. Right?
You can be with 2 people, I feel super comfortable asking them.
Do what?
I was just having a conversation before I came here with one of my friends, he was like, hey, I sold this house, and he was like, hey, my aunt and uncle are looking, and I was just thinking about, he like brought it up this time, it was just
Yeah.
I feel uncomfortable if I don't ask now.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm leaving something on the table if I don't. If I walk away from a conversation and don't ask, I feel like I'm lost something.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually feel like now, like, there's times where I hear people bring up real estate, and I kind of like, dinner, like, sometimes I just want to turn it off. But then I feel like they're gonna think I like them. And like, if you bring real estate around me, like,
barbecue that's just harassing everybody in the business either.
That's right, you know, and I usually do not bring it up, right? In
Yeah.
social events, it's not like I'm in people's face. Someone will bring it up,
Oh,
to me, right? Like someone, oh, how's work? How's the market?
Then the door is open.
That's it, right? Oh, it's like you don't post it on Facebook, like I need a realtor. Good luck with that.
It's actually funny though, 'cause when that happens, I like don't want to talk about it, but then somebody says real estate, I'm like, you know what, I am ready to talk about it.
Alright, so then we're gonna send them another item of value. So for us, we send a jumbo postcard. Now, what you wanna back up and do is think about that you're gonna wanna put everybody that you meet on an 8x8. So you really wanna think about how many people a week are you adding to your database. Right now, early on, you need to invest some time and energy into it, so you're probably gonna spend a little bit more. But at any given time, how many people do you want going in your database? Right, and you kind of need to say like, all right, I intend to add 10 people a week to my database. But you need to know what's your budget for your 8x8, right? Because it'll add up like a quick. You don't think it will. This runs you, you know, $6, and then it's 10 people a week, that's $60 a week, right? I mean, that's what, $320 a month roughly. You see, and that's just 8x8, we're not to 36 touchdowns. So you do want to kind of budget. Some people will just print out a list of vendors, right? Here's a landscaper. Here, like everybody, like a lot of people have a vendor list, and they'll just print it off the printer and put it in an envelope and mail it. Okay? We put item of value. For us, we've just tried to leverage that as much as possible, so it's easy. They're already made up. We just have to throw a stamp on it and drop it now, right? It's more about time, right?
And so for y'all, what does that postcard look like?
So it just says, you know, the Huffaker Group, it's got a team picture on it. It says #1 team in Middle Tennessee in 2017. We've helped over 2,000 families, right? It just has some stats on it, right? It's very generic. I used to argue that it really didn't matter what the contact was, just the contact was the point, right? It just made them stop and think of you again. When we had a marketing director, she said, well, we're gonna do it when I do it, you know, with value. But I wouldn't get so caught up with getting it out is important, right? Start your 8x8 and then see how you can run across things, right? Oh, I like this, or oh, that's a good idea, right? As you can see. You can order jumbo postcards pretty easy, right? All right, so we're gonna call them, right? At this point, it's been about a month, right? These are happening every week. Now, you could do an 8x2, right? In new construction, we actually do an 8x2 because that timeline for the buy is generally a little bit quicker. So we contact them 8 times in 2 weeks, right?
So you kind of just make it different depending on who to contact.
Yeah, it's the situation, right? If you find somebody that's a hot lead, you might want to speed it up to an 8x4, right? You may want to do it every 3 days rather than once a week. See what I'm saying? You can adjust it, but if you have this piece of it kind of spelled out, then all of a sudden you can change it how you need to, right? All right, I'm gonna call them and say, hey, just checking in, mailed you out that postcard, making sure you got it. Anybody you know right now that I should be talking to about real estate, right? And usually you've had a dialogue with them at some point, right? Hey, we met at the open house. I know I sent you that thank you card, blah, blah, blah. How's it going? How's the kid, right? You usually have something, a rapport building to kind of talk on for a minute, right? But is that harassing, you think? No. I mean, if I meet the grocery at the grocery store, right? Or I meet someone at church, or I meet someone at the ball fields, I just put them into my system and get this running, right? We'll talk about that in a minute about keeping up with the news. I just get this going. Then for them, what I'm doing is just earning them my share right now, right? All right, number 5, another item of value. For us, it's a brochure. I do recommend that if you're going to spend money on items of value, do the cheaper one first, right? Because at some point, if you get done, sometimes you take people off, so save the most expensive ones for last. That way, if they call you, like, hey, leave me alone, hey, I didn't realize that I was signing up for something or whatever. Right? You're not sending expensive stuff. So we've got a trifold brochure just about the team, right? Who we Mom's Day you need tips, right? Christmas side is, whatever. I do say try not to make it too seasonal, right? Because you're gonna mail these out in February as much as you want in December, right? All right, 6, text. 7, we do a fridge magnet. We'll leave the last one. I want something that has a little bit more shelf life to it, right? So we have fridge magnets that have our business card on the top. That's a to-do list, right? Just a tear away. You know, but I mean, how many times going to people's houses and I see the UT ball schedule from 2015, right? Still up. People just can't leave that stuff up. So it could be anything though. A lot of different things that have some good shelf life like that. Yeah.
So have you replaced the email with a text for the most part? Just
Yeah,
replace
we don't
it.
even need email. Maybe not. I don't even read my important emails anymore.
That is not so.
I mean, really, it just gets so many of them, right? Especially when we all have the account we give everybody when they want their email address. We have to check, right? But
Yeah.
I literally tell me, like, if you really send me something, send me a text so I'm going to look for it. Seriously.
No, I get it.
Pick up like coaching baseball, like my kids' school, like my wife will literally text me and say, hey, go check your email, the school says something, right? Because other than that, I'm not gonna check that account, just too much stuff in there. Okay? So, you end up with, the time you pay postage there, maybe you're at 60 cents, 83 cents, like $1. Maybe down here like $2, right? So that's what that's about. $3.50 for all that. Not too bad. Because the great thing is, as you're going through this, if you're having good communication with them and really trying to build a relationship as you're calling and texting, don't just leave. If they engage you in conversation, engage them, right? If they text you back and have a question about real estate or something, because what you're doing right now is, whatever they think about real estate for the next 2 months, they're going to think of you, right? Even if their sister's a realtor. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've had people call me or contact me about doing something in real estate when I put them on an 8x8, when they have told me, hey, when I think of real estate, I think of this person. We've always used so and so for our real estate transactions. Great. Can I send you some information about who we are and what we do, just so you kind of know us and maybe if we're ever able to be of help, we'd love to be, right? I got one guy that, when I met him, his realtor was my first mentor in the business. I was like, oh yeah, I know her, great, fantastic person. He's like, yeah, we bought all of our houses in Tennessee from her. When we first moved here, we lived in one of her rentals, right? She's phenomenal, she'll always do all of our business, great, right? He has since bought over, just in the last 12 months, probably $1.5 million in real estate from us, plus he sent his ex-wife, who was also with that other agent, right? Now, like, I think Phil just went and showed his boss a house in Nashville, right? So now, I mean, they shot commercials for us, and they've always used someone else, right? But then they came back and I said, she's all the way in the other town, and you really seem to know this area, and you really seem to have a grasp on what's going on. Well, they were in Nashville. Know anything else. So we just said, hey, here's who we are, here's what we do. How many other agents are doing it systematically? Now that's what it comes back to, right? You gotta spell out the plan, right? And then you gotta have your system to do it, right? This is where you can't wait for you to remember to do all this, right? Because you're gonna have 10 people this week and 10 people next week, and by the end of it, you got 80 different people at some point on somewhere in the plan at any given time. And that's where I'd say, now you understand what you're doing. Does your CRM system match up, right? Does it give you the ability to create smart plans? I know top producer does. I think the Edge does.
If it does, I have no idea about it. I need to figure that out.
Let me show you a little bit about what that might look like. I don't know about the other ones. So I'm pretty sure sure because I've used eEdge before, at least with eEdge Pro, I'm almost positive in there under marketing, there is a way to set up a campaign, right? Maybe it's
Yeah,
a-
yeah.
Right? So for us in Boomtown, it ends up looking like this. Now, when our agents add it on there, right? I mean, this just says, number 1 to do, mail. Number 2, text. Number 3, mail. Number 4, call. Number 5, mail. Number 6, text. Right? So that when we log in every day to our system, we're not curious about what we should be doing for lead follow-up that day. Like our lead follow-up is, man, I'll be in mind because I'm not that much in business, right? So today for the team, there's 83 active activities that are still outstanding to be done, right? So during their follow-up time, or with the ISAs for us, we're trying to actually go behind it and try to clean this up. You can also see 779 past dues, right? Which is where managing all of this becomes, because if you get off a day, and then you have 2 days or 3 days, right? It becomes a lot to keep up with. Now, when you talk about the value of the CRM system, it really depends on how cool is your system. Honestly, how the more you pay, the cooler it's going to be. It's just kind of how it boils down. So for us, we're an 8x8. Right? It takes that 8x8, mail a handwritten thank you card, and tells the buyers they can do it. Alright? So we can set these up like when people add, when they go into the system, when they add them, it automatically sets these to-dos for them. Right? On 8x8s, I don't do it automatically. But then that's what assigns it to the buyer's agent. Right? For the text, send anybody thank you card text. Goal, build rapport, strengthen the relationship, assign to the buyer's agent. Now I believe Boomtown even has the auto text feature. I don't know, maybe Boomtown might not have auto text. But I believe a lot of them do have it where you can just set it up and send that text for you. Right? And then for us, mail the team brochure, well, that gets assigned to an admin. So the agents aren't responsible for doing that now. Right? It takes one more thing off of their plate. The call, it assigns to the agent, the next mailing, it assigns to the admin. Realistically, if we were to set up the auto text, the agent really only has to mail the handwritten thank you card. Which I'll be honest, we keep a stack of them back that are pre-written. Really, not like you have to be that specific. Like, hey, it's good to meet you. Is there no good thing for you? Love your every business, something like that, right? You write out 100 of them and keep them sitting there in envelopes and just throw them in the mail, right? So for us, we try to leverage as much as possible so the agents can come in and sit down, check their to-do list, do their tasks to keep them on pace. But you can't keep up with it in your head, right? There's just too much going on as you're trying to build that database, right? So check within your system and see or create some type of system that helps you keep up with what do I need to do next. You could simply do it in an Excel spreadsheet, right? Put their name in 8 columns. What are next every time you get one done? So you can go in there and go, all right, what's the next thing on this one to be done? Or what's the date that needs to be done? And most of them, even the Edge, even the free ones, should have some type of, that's the point of it, right? The point is not just to put them in there and have their name and phone number. That wouldn't really be a value to anyone, right? The point is to make your life easier. Make sense?
Perfect.
Okay. So once I gain mind share, how many of you are gonna go do this? Gotta do it, man. Gotta do it. This is it. If you want to wake up in 2019 and have business without having to do anything else, this is how you're gonna do it. Right? This is running a business. Right? Not just putting it in there and hoping and wishing and I meant to and I should have. A lot of that's I, it's all emotional based. Okay? Got this, I'm gonna erase it. Alright, so for my Mets, I want 300 of them in there. I say like for instance, we just had 4 new buyers that didn't start, right? You should have at least least, 100, I mean, family, friends, anybody, and I don't them all anyway. Like, I know, we have new people start, my budget's gonna get blown, right? That's all right. 2,000 pieces of mail that just went out with my name on it, right? It's good business. It's good for me, it's good for them, right? So we're helping them build a brand, helping them associate with an image, okay? So you may, if you have 285 people that you have not been doing that with, you may be strategic over the next 6 weeks, right? Put 40 of them a week on there, right? But that means you need a bunch of handwritten thank you card, right? You need to get it spelled out so that you can get that going, right?
So for the people in there that you may not have had contact with, just start them on everybody.
Yeah, what we do, so we were in that situation, right? We had a bunch of people in our database, wasn't really sure who they were or what to do, so we just started calling. Hey, you're in our database over here at the Huffaker Group. Looks like we met you so-and-so. Did you ever buy a house? By the way, when you think of real estate, who do you think of? Right, it's not complicated, right? Do you want to stay in the database is ultimately what we end up asking them. Hey, we've got you in our database. We share some information regarding real estate. We're getting ready to mail out some information with folks here. Do you have someone that you use when you think of real estate? Essentially, I mean, I told the agents, like, get people to get out. Like, actually encourage them to say, like, no, I don't want this. Because we don't want them to spend money on it, right?
Yeah, okay.
But really, like, get specific with them. I mean, you're not going to say it like that to them, right? And have a conversation, and use your best judgment.
So that's like just really just reach out to them first before you can go that route.
Oh, if you've got a messy database right now and don't know who's who, back up and create some type of buckets, right? So create tags. EH has them, I know they do, right? You can tag them as a Met, right? I would also tag them by the first letter of their last name. I'll show you why in just a second. Okay. And then if they say yes, right, I do want to get information from you, yes, I do like using your website. Great, I'm going to send you some information, right? And then put them on A-Bite. I mean, I've done it to my parents, right? Put them on A-Bite. They love that stuff, right? Oh, baby. My stepmom called the magazine a real producer, like, can I get a copy of that? Y'all making me still that kid on the playground. All right, I love it. 36 touch. All right, so once we gain the mind share, we have to keep it. Okay. It's 33 in the MREA. I already said 36. Some people said MREA2 will be somewhere between around 36. So we kind of that's ours. I think we actually do 52 touches. I'll show you that in just a minute. So the community is overkill over time, right? That's how Gary always explained it. So once I got you thinking about me, I want to keep it, right? We're not even doing this with our own clients, right? Closing's done, here's my check, here's your keys, here's your $25 gift. Thanks, call me if you ever need anything, right? And then when's the next time where you have any type of campaign to follow up with? So see, once you get kind of used to these campaigns, like now, yeah, so see now we have a 2-month, or we've had it for years, but a THG 2-month close campaign. So when our house closes, it closes, they go in and mark it as closed, and as soon as somebody marks it as closed in the database, then this starts automatically. And this basically tells our admin staff what to do for the next 2 months. First thing we do is follow up, hey, you're getting settled in. How's everything going? We told you we weren't just going to leave you at the closing table, we're going to be your realtor for life. What can we do to help you get settled in your house? Right? And we're going to follow up a week later. Hey, I hope you had a great experience with us. I'm going to text you a link real quick to our reviews page. Would you mind going and letting everyone else know what it was? Smart, huh?
Yeah.
I can't take credit for any of this stuff.
Well, I've been trying to get people to leave reviews, but I don't send them a link or nothing, so it never happens.
Yeah.
Where do you want them to leave you a review at?
I
Pick
ain't
one
thought
and
that
work
far.
it. Pick one and work it.
That's what I'm saying.
Pick
like,
one
that's
spot.
why I
If
think-
Zillow's your spot, pick Zillow fill in and work it. If Yelp is your spot, I mean, I listened to some guys from Mega Live last year, Graham Seavy's team, Graham Seavey team out of Atlanta, and they just said the same thing. In fact, that class we're going on August 29th, we'll talk a lot about that. But as far as reviews are concerned, they just said pick one, work it for like 18 months. Right? You'd much rather have everybody going to one spot. Now, I'll tell you, a company we use called Guild Quality. Right? Guild Quality is $25 closing. You prepay for so many closings, and they actually contact them 6 times after closing and ask them, we got questions that they ask them, right? You guys charge a transaction fee?
Yeah.
Okay, so to me, we just built that cost into the transaction fee. Sorry. It's only gonna work if it's got my info saved, but I have no idea. Right, but I can go through here. Now, we take they contact them 6 times, we get a ton of feedback. All of these reviews automatically post onto the internet for us. If there's bad reviews, we pick up the phone and call them, say, hey, what could we have done differently? Thank you for letting us know about this. Right, we're able to sit down with our team members and kind of go, hey, where did we fail in this transaction? All right, well, what should we be doing better? But we also take the information that they give, and like right now we're running radio ads. That's our testimonials, right? That are running on the radio. So like this guy, I mean, this was like the best review ever. And Phil and worked with him. It was all for the Huffing Group makes you feel like a member of their family. Your goals become their goals. Their successes become your successes. From pre-listing to the closing table, will guide the process and bring a bounty of knowledge. Why did I choose Huffegger? I started watching the tenacious and resilient attitude of their sales team. They won my business through their actions, and I got so much more. Fun fact about Huffegger: you get a team of talented individuals, all playing a role to make your real estate transaction the best possible. I engage them as an agent and acquired friends. I did not pay them for that. But I mean,
Even the wording means.
I mean, I know, right?
Wow. It's like you wrote it.
I read it, and I'm like, all right, just playing a prank on me, right? Like, this is awesome. But you're just talking, I mean, it's just leverage, $25. Right? I mean, how many closings do you do a month? If you want to do 36, that's $75 a month.
Your reviews matter.
To really know what's going on, right? I mean, you want to do it, right? You want that. You want to know if you did a good job or not.
Let's see those bad reviews now.
Yeah. There's a few of them in here. The funny thing, the ones that, I think bad reviews are really an opportunity, right? It really gives you a chance to show people that we're not perfect.
Absolutely.
How are we going to handle that?
Mhm.
The one I get frustrated about on the bad reviews we've gotten, there's a question on the survey that says, did you understand your financing options? A lot of times we get people that get feedback on it, and I believe that they're kind of getting feedback on their lender because of the way it asks the question. And like the comments will say like, I wasn't real clear what my down payment and financing options were. I go back and I'm like, okay, so there's an opportunity for us to add more value. Should that be on our bucket? I don't think to me, I think we should pick the question off of it. Just my
Yeah, because that really doesn't fall on your lap.
Yeah, not at all.
But it is good to know. We've seen it multiple times, so somewhere along the way, our clients are not feeling like they're getting a good understanding of the financing, right? Okay. All right. So 36 touch, both killed over time, right? So you want to be strategic about this. There are plenty of ways to get there. You're really just trying to find a way to touch these people 36 times over the course of the year. Okay? Now I'll show you what we do. I'm not saying that we're perfect at it. I think like for instance, when you go to MegaCamp, right, the vendor hall, there are tons of options there for newsletters. Right? There's some that say like they can get a newsletter out for like 43, like less than a stamp, right? That's pretty impressive to me. Right? If you can get a quality newsletter out to your database for less than the cost of a stamp, it's a pretty good touch. Right? Now, what we want is when they get it, they think of you, right? Again, we're reinforcing that we're your agent. So for us, I just got done, since if I don't have a marketing director anymore, I am the marketing director. So I do believe that email is a bad idea. Which if you would have known me 5 years ago, If I would have told you that I thought print was the way to go, I'm still shocked at myself.
Oh, so you're saying print one holds more back than it does hold more back?
I just don't think a lot of people do it right. You're not gonna see it right because it's folds, right? Are they gonna think of me when they get this? Yeah, right, it's like big bright red, like Huffaker. So we do a newsletter every month, Huffaker Home Front, right? It says market update inside, right? We give information on the market. We say we sold 44 homes in June, right? Wonder what your home's worth, right? It doesn't cost us that. Depending on the size of your database, you know, this is gonna run you, you do something custom like this yourself, you're probably paying about $1 a house, maybe 75 cents a house, right? Now, this is labor intensive, right? I actually myself had to figure out how to do this month. It was entertaining. We got it done, right? Got it out. We mail right now to somewhere around 2,400 households, right? So we probably our budget, I think, is around $2,000 total for this each month. You can do it cheaper, but I do think 12 pieces of print is kind of the way to get there, right? Now, you can look for cost-saving alternatives, right? You could do 12 emails. It's just what's the value, right? Are you really getting what you want out of it, right? All right? We actually do, I only count 12, but we do 24 video emails. So the emails we do, I know Frank's seen them, right? We post them on Facebook. It's really the viral marketing videos that we use to get out. They mail it to our database. We can see who opens them. We can see who clicks on them. We get a report 3 days later. This is how many people have interacted with your email, right? This is how many bounced, right? We get good data back from it, so we can make. And then we take that list and hand it to the ISA and go, here's all the people that clicked on the "What's my home worth" tab on that email. Call them. See if they need a better price than what they got, right? Make sense? You're doing video now, right? You've
Yeah.
done it for a while.
Yeah. It's a whole lot better than just typing up an email. We get a whole lot better. Actually, 5 deals off that.
Yeah. I bet. People will pay more attention to video. Really, if you're going to do email, video is the way to go. Although still getting in front of those eyes. That's why I like doing something like a video where you can cross-use it for like social media, blog posts, and all these other things that you can kind of cross.
And length matters on videos because people,
Yeah.
you go too long, it's like, whatever.
Yeah, we got a problem with that one. Lately, I've been interviewing agents and
Because on my longer ones, you can tell, like on the ones I keep a minute and 30 seconds or less, I get more clicks, more
Yeah.
opens. Anything over 2 minutes is almost
we don't have an attention span for it anymore, right? Nobody. All right, so 12 video emails. So that really gets you to 24 right there, right? Now we're going to call them 4 times a year. And that's where if you're taking the number of referrals, the method we've come up with, let me see if I can zoom in here so you can see it. So what's today? August 2nd? All right, so the week starting July 30th, was that Monday? For the week starting July 30th, we're calling anybody in the database that's last name starts with H or V. Okay? Call 2 letters of the last name each week, 13 weeks every quarter, 2 times 13 is 26, 26 letters of the alphabet. Make sense? Okay, that's the DTD2. We have, and you can see here, like, they did it like A&W Ruby, right? They do A&W Flow. We do have, right? Checking. I don't know, all these other, they all kind of stood for something, right? What's that? But it gives you kind of every week. Our ISAs load them up in the dialer for the agents. All they can do is hop on and make the calls, right? And they report back. I made my DTD2 calls this week. Because if they don't, over here's the ISAs, right? So here's, this week is H and V. 2 weeks later, the ISAs are on to H and V. So if you don't make your calls your first week, you get a week to make them up. After 2 weeks, the ISAs are calling them for you. So that we ensure that it happens. Now, ISAs are just calling. Like, I don't call my database. Tabitha does. She calls, hey, David asked me to reach out to you to check in and see how things are going. Is there anything that you need from him right now? You know anybody that might be looking to make a move? So like virtual ISAs, all these things out there that you could do, these are all the ways that you could utilize them other than just dialing, right? Make sense?
Yeah.
Alright. I believe not everybody likes to talk on the phone anymore. I'm one of those people. Right? 2 texts. So you'll see next to it, 1 letter. So this week we're texting anybody with the last name that starts with U. Think we had a busy week texting? Not too many people in our data. I mean, literally doing this, even for as large of a team as we are, there are still weeks where you call 9 people and you text 2. It's not like it's overwhelming work, right? But when you're looking for your follow-up, right, this should be the first thing you're doing each week, right? 2 hours of lead generation, 1 hour lead follow-up. As you build your database more, that would shift to like 1 hour lead generation, 2 hours of lead follow-up. See what I'm saying? And that's where you slowly start kind of giving up having to do all of that prospecting, because now you've built a business with a database and you're in relationships with people. Make sense? Now it takes you longer because your database is bigger to call through and talk to everyone. Okay? All right, there's 24 plus 6, so there's 30. Four events. This is something that we still have not perfected. We've gotten a lot better at it, right? It always like events are expensive, who's going to show up, it's a lot of time and effort. To be honest, man, they turn out pretty sneaky cool. They're not expensive.
What kind of events do you throw? Like, what is it? Just as a small example.
So, let's see, the last one we did was a little bit bigger. We did a volleyball tournament up here at the GOAT.
Okay.
So we had everybody on the team form their own teams with their clients and invite, 5 to 6 people. And we had, I think, 12 teams, 8 to 12 teams show up. So we had food, all you can drink, beverages, food, whatever. Had the volleyball tournament, went up there, had it outside, had a big Huff Acre Group banner, had banners up around, had Huff Acre Group stuff, swag, kind of give out. Everybody made teams and played. Did all of that. I think my total bill, there were probably about 50 people there. Was like, by the time we rented the space, paid for the food, drinks, everything, even the cost to advertise for it was like $1,400.
Wow.
Yeah, wasn't that bad. I mean, considering, and what we found is people consistently show up. The last one we did was, where are we at now? I don't remember the last one we did. We did like at Christmas, we actually put 2 floats in the parade. We rented out Sweet Biscuits down here on Mount Juliet Road. Right, we didn't rent it out, we just had Sweet Biscuits catered. I mean, that place was jammed. We had Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus in there. Again, I think our total budget was like $800. We had a lot of company. We told them to bring your chairs, sit out front. We pulled trailers, people and their kids got on the trailer and go down through. I mean, what parent doesn't, their kids want to do parades, right? Like, come on, put them in the parade, right? It just hadn't cost that much, right? What was it? Last year we did just a meet and greet at the GOAT. So again, it doesn't have to be a whole lot. We try to balance between like family friendly and evening, right? You got to think about who's your market, right? Doing, always doing it at a bar is probably not the most ideal, right? I mean, for us, it's usually families, people we know at school and stuff like that, right? All right, so for us, we usually do like a Christmas card. So we'll take like a team picture and just put it on. I mean, we'll do it cheap, right? We'll do it like Walgreens style. Go on Walgreens Christmas card with some snow falling over top of the team picture, and boom, put them out, right? And then we'll do like one miscellaneous. Right?
What's an example of that?
Miscellaneous.
Yeah, what are you doing for?
We did at one point. We did like turn your clocks back reminders. We've done like Like I love Chad Lyons did, like on his birthday, he'd go buy a big box of birthday cards at like Target, that you can get for like 10 cents, like really cheap ones. And he would send out and say, you know, happy birthday, it's my birthday, all of my birthday is, you know, a referral from you or something. So he would send birthday cards out to all the databases on his birthday. I thought that was pretty big. For me, again, the thing that matters the most is this. If you don't do that piece, none of the rest of it really matters. Because like for our events, we're also calling them again, right? I mean, for us, we're actually doing 24 video emails, right? I also think this one almost gets filled in because you're friends with most of them on social media, right? So you're making posts and contacts there, right? So realistically, think about how many times you're truly coming in contact with them, right? Okay? You could pick your favorite sport, right? Send out a flyer or something like that. Okay? Alright. So again, have to have a system to kind of follow it, right? So for us, every time someone goes into the database, when someone clicks the nurture button and puts them on a nurture, the first task is send Tabitha a reminder to add these people to the Excel spreadsheet. So we literally, I mean, it's really that simple. Right? They go in Boomtown, see where it starts on nurture. See? Sends Tabitha a reminder, confirm mailing address and client info on newsletter Google Sheet. So then each month when I go to mail out the Google Sheet, somewhere on here. So I did it. Right? So then every time somebody adds somebody to the database, Tabitha goes and puts them on this Google Sheet. I download this Google Sheet at the end of every month, send it to our vendor that mails out the newsletters for us. Along with the newsletter, I go, here's the newsletter, here's the list of people it's going to, send me the bill, right? And so right now we're at, and this thing's like snowballing like crazy. I told them don't let it get about 1,500, and that was like a year ago, and they kept going, it's about 1,500. I'm like, yeah, it's good business, just keep at it, right? And they're like, about 2,000. I'm like, yeah, but it's good business. So right now we're at 3,026, right? Think about that, 3,026, right? And it takes some time in order for them to get going. Am I going to have business in 2019? Yeah. When I've done the math, on average, we get a 50-to-1 return on the money we're spending on the database. For every dollar I spend, I make 50. All day, right? Like that's all day. That's a business. You really think about it. Amazon, Apple, Google, all of them just have these databases. They're just marketing to you, staying in front of you, and trying to stay top of mind. So now when you think of buying something, get in my car and drive to the store. Ludicrous. Right? Like literally, I buy peanut butter on Amazon. Like we bought light bulbs. Like that seems dangerous to buy online, in my opinion. It's always that box is the one that's always beat up too. I think they know it. But I mean, I buy everything on Amazon now because I gave them my number because they said they give you free shipping. Right? They promised me something of value. Yes, you can communicate with me systematically. They do it, and I spend all my money there. Right? That's all we're trying to get these folks to do. It's just when they get to that point, they think of us and they refer us. Right? Alright, good?
Good.
I think that's probably the value of a good coach and have that accountability.
Yeah. Well, you have to pick your poison, right? There are so many things to focus on in this business, but all of us need to be getting back to this, especially as the market continues to shift. Because my database is relevant regardless of market conditions, right? And it really doesn't matter at a 50-to-1, even if this is 100-to-1, even if it's a horrible market, it's still, if I have 3,000 people in there and it's 100 to 1, that's still 30 transactions, right? And it's not. So that's nuts, right? And Gary said we also have the other option, right? We have to have it nuts. You might know that conversion rate or that stat. 50 to 1. Now, I haven't done a whole lot of thought or research around if that would still hold true. With as much marketing and advertising and everything as there is out there, I would have to imagine that that one's probably changed as well. Even if you said 100 to 1. Right? So again, you can either choose to do it all through Mets, you can do it all through Habit Mets, or you can do some combination thereof, right? So if you're trying to get to 36 next year, that's a really weird 3. Got away from me there. All right, we said we're going to do 15 from here, right? Then you could, potentially consider the other 21 from over here. Which, given you're going to have some ancillary business coming in, right? Let's just for simplicity, right? Let's say that it is that. Right, so what is this? To me, this is like farms. To me, farms are the best Habit Mets, right? You're being intentional about them. You're getting internet leads. The goal over here, what you're trying to do with Habit Mets is it's a loyalty skill, okay? Loyalty from 0 to 100. This is contacts. 1 contact, 2 contacts, 3 contacts, 4 contacts. Wow, something like that, right? If I get an internet lead and I talk to them one time, their loyalty might be 10%. Because I'm down everybody else's websites, right? Not just on mine, right? Now, if I have a conversation with them a second time, maybe they're at 30%, right? If I mail them something, maybe not at 50%. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with a farm, right? So with a farm, without calling, mailing, door knocking, right? That's where some type of postcard campaign. Or you could do this for schools, right? You could do this for Rotary Club, right? You do it for anybody that doesn't know you, like you, or want to do it. You have a lot of Mets that are having Mets in your database already, more than likely, right? For us, 50 to 1 may still be pretty relevant. I mean, I think about like our average conversion on that stuff. It could still be 50 to 1. We said in worst case 100 to 1, right? And this is where you come back to internet leads. 100 internet leads. About 100 internet leads a year off of Zillow. What, $5,000? Seems about right. Yeah. So I'm going to convert an internet lead at 2%. My average commission is $8,500. Minus 5. Right? Still essential, right? Profit.
So help me understand, and I know Sean is crazy successful from internet leads. I can't wrap my head around consistently doing that. Like year after year, all of her business is going towards internet leads. I just don't know how someone comprehends that that's the best route.
Yeah, but Sean hasn't been successful. The internet leads haven't been the reason Sean's successful.
Well, it wasn't, right.
Sean's diligence
Right.
in following up with them and building a relationship with them and making them feel at ease is what's made Sean successful.
He answers his phone no matter what's going on, whatever's going on in his life, he answers his phone on the spot.
And you're right, it will get old over time. And if he's smart, now how many past clients does he have? Right now he's building that database. Right?
And I wasn't trying to talk bad about
No, yeah,
Sean.
absolutely.
I'm just trying to figure out how someone decides that over
What-
touching your
yeah.
database and things like that.
Yeah, because the return on investment here
Right, and that's.
You're
just-
investing 5,000 to get 17, so what's that? Not even 2.5 to 1, right? If you're not getting 4 to 1, it's not worth doing, really. As a single agent, you can get away with it, you're still making some money, but as you try to scale it, because realistically, in order to hit this 2, you gotta be doing something, right? That 2 is not just a given. So what a lot of people have to do is go out and hire ISA services, right? And then you put these people in a database, then you're doing all this stuff with them, right? In order to really get that, for me, if I spend 5,000, I have to get 4 to 1, because if I get 20, 10 of it's going out to the agents, right? 5,000 of it is going to pay for it. So that only leaves me with, if I'm trying to get my money back. See what I'm saying? So for us, if it's not 4 to 1, I literally lose money, personally, right? Okay. Again, lots of campaigns you can build. I think the place to start is with the Mets. And remember, the reason that you're out lead generating is to build your database, right? It's that Mets database. Say, who do you know, who do you think of, who do you trust when you think of real estate? Make sense?
Well, you can say happy anniversary,
Thank you.
because everybody else is saying it right now, so we're gonna say happy anniversary.
I don't post on Facebook much, man. When I do, everybody's like, "Yay, he's talking to people." Alright, yeah, blow it up. Now, I do think it's important to have some type of way to categorize your folks, right, when they're in there. So for us, we pretty much call everybody in our database a nurture, right? If they are part of our real data bank, right? If they are truly the Mets, we call them nurtured, right? Because we're nurturing them nonstop, right? So as soon as that closed campaign stops running, it's automatically set up to be a nurture. So they automatically go into our 36 touch, right? If we get a hot lead that comes in, or we call them new until someone's touched them, so I can see how fast we're getting to them. And then once somebody's talked to them, we'll move to qualify, right? We're qualifying that lead, what needs to be done with it. Are they serious? Did they give us relevant information? Things like that, right? It stays in qualify until someone touches them. So if we don't get a hold of them, it stays in qualify, basically telling the team these people still need to be qualified, right? We need to find out if there's something that we need to be doing for them. We put them on a 10 days of gain, right? You guys familiar with 10 days of gain? Used to be called 10 days of pain, but that sounds miserable.
Yeah.
10 days of gain, just, 10 days of activities that you're doing with new leads in order to try to, what do we say? You gotta contact the company at least 6 times, you got a 92% contact rate. 2 things that matter. Have to talk to them in under 5 minutes. You gotta follow up more than 6 times. Right? So we got a 10 days again. Call, text, email, call, text, email, call, text, email. Right? That's the agent's to-dos, right? When you commit, it's their to-dos, they're on that to-do list as well. Right? Kind of follow up. Kind of say, all right, what do I need to do with this person today? And as soon as we get a response, then it shuts off. Okay? It's just to try to get them to respond and engage us. Because once we talk to them, we should be able to evaluate. Are you looking for a house? Do you want to be in our nurture team? Right? What bucket do you go in? Right? People that say like, actually I want to see your house on 123 Main Street, this have to move to 3. Basically we call them hot. No, y'all can't see this very well. Let's see if you see that? Is that better?
Mm-hmm. A lot better.
This is hanging back in my office. Feel free to go make a copy of it if you want. Alright, so for us, hot buyer's consultation set, held, or we will be holding one soon. Listing consultation set, held, or we'll be holding one soon, right? So for us, gotta be communicating with us weekly. You say able to lose, like someone can take that lead away from you. If you haven't been contacted or hot lead within 7 days, you can pull it and give it to someone else. Right? On our watch, positive engagement, potential in the next 2 to 6 months, might be waiting on a specific event to happen before we're moving forward, right? So we've got a lot of people on watch, it's kind of our black hole, it makes me nervous, right? We're supposed to be communicating with them every 2 days. Otherwise, they're a nurture, right? New New Meds, Past Clients, Sphere, Allied Resources, somebody we've talked to that said maybe they wanna do something a year from now. We wanna do a whole lot for them, and then let's send it 8x8, let's put them on 36 touch. This is where we get the best feedback. Right, with ELPs, we lose a lot on the fast reaction, I think because there's so many layers to our system. However, we win a lot of business because everyone, I talk to more of our clients and say, I went with you guys because y'all stayed in touch. We stay in touch. We actually have a system that we can't not stay in touch. Right? We physically have to go do something. Someone has to call and say, if you mail me one more thing, I'm calling you. Right? They actually have to, we have to go in and actually do something in order to make them stop getting communicated from us. Right? So a lot of people say, like, you were the only ones, a year and a half later, 3 years later, right? We had a lot of those people that came into an open house, and I get it, and I bet we didn't call them like we were supposed to every time. Right? Or I bet we didn't text them every time like we were supposed to. But that's where the system kind of helps you stay in play, right? Jameson said he just sold a house out in Tuscany, right? He sold one of our new construction houses. They were unrepresented and they needed to list their house. He had forgot to follow up with them. The system sent out one of the automated texts. It just says, hey, did you have any questions about the community that you visited? And they texted back and said, actually, yes, we're ready to come by the contract. Can we come by this afternoon? So it might not, I mean, hopefully, surely they would have got in touch with us, right? But I'm just saying, like, because the system's kind of automatically moving, right? Make sense? All right. What questions do you guys have about that in general? Any other questions that we hadn't been over or talked about?
No, what do you do now?
I think the biggest thing is, again, it's simple, right? I mean, Gary talks about his shoebox. Yeah, I never went to KW Connect and watched Gary talk about his database and how he kind of built that. Right? He talks about having a shoebox card full of index cards or whatever, and how he had them filed. How that, that's how his dad knew that he was going to actually make some money, and why his dad wanted him a little bit of money to get started. Because he was like, I got these people, right? These 7 here are going to buy in the next 6 months, right? But he knew it because he had a database and he was taking care of it, right? All right, guys, I'm always here. If you ever need me, call me, ask, happy to help you. Go do something, right?
Thank you.
Take some active steps.
Happy anniversary again.
Thank you.
What are you at, 15?
I gotta go, yep, here's my gift.
Good luck. You should have given this to early, my friend.
That's like, my wife and I agree about that. I told her, I'm like, I don't get you a good day, I get some fun.
We'll figure it out throughout time.
Yeah, she don't care about that stuff.
That's awesome, thank you.
Yep, absolutely, brother. Now, hold on, if you need something.
I think so. You guys sit back where you got that?
Yeah, I'm on there.
Get out of here.
Get up.